Happy holidays, everyone, and welcome to a special Christmas edition of the Rediscover the 80s podcast. I'm your humble host, Jason Gross, and joining me tonight is a familiar voice to the podcast. Please welcome back Chad Ecto Young of the Horror Movie BBQ. How are you, Chad?
I'm doing great, and maybe you should refer to it as the Ho Ho Horror Movie Barbecue.
Gotcha.
And in actuality, I've got a Kenner Batman figure, and I've got a Janine figure. And just to pull back the curtain, I'm doing terrible things to both of them, so it's probably best that I just put them down.
Does one of them have a machine gun now?
Man, Jason, come on. Great. You had to ruin it with that garbage.
Do you got like fake glass or glass that one of them is walking across, and I don't know, you're like reenacting scenes from the movie?
Is that a Die Hard reference?
Yes, that's
Dude,
right.
I've
you
never
haven't
seen
seen
Die
it.
Hard
That's
a day in my life.
Yeah, I thought that's where you're going with the ho ho ho, but I forgot you hadn't seen Die Hard yet.
No, but I do plan on. I'm actually going to see it on Saturday because the local theater and the local crew, Fright Rags, is actually putting on a screening. And I love the theater and I love Fright Rags enough, and I was just like, oh,
it's
fine.
Time, man. It's time. It's
but I
past
can't
time.
stand Bruce Willis.
Well, it's probably his best action movie that he's ever made.
Oh,
so
dear.
if you don't like him, you might as well go to the best one at least, you know.
All right, that's fine.
Well, tonight we are embarking on an inaugural Christmas shopping spree podcast, and we're going to be diving into the 1988 Sears Wishbook, and we're going to pick out some items that we will, I guess, want to own even today after looking at it. This is, at least that's the way I kind of approached it, finding stuff that I wanted to essentially own today.
Mm-hmm.
But this is kind of came out of a somewhat annual tradition for me, doing this very thing on the website. And I thought, hey, why not try it in podcast form this year and invite a guest along with me to dig through this wonderful book. And so here we are. And for those of you who might be watching on YouTube or want to go over to YouTube, I'm going to try to do some screen sharing. You can kind of ignore Chad there if you want to. But I'm going to do some screen sharing with the pages from some of the stuff that we're going to be choosing tonight. So go take a look at that if you get a chance. And a big thanks to wishbookweb.com for posting these scans. And they've got several books all over the 80s, 70s, 60s, I think all the way back into the like 30s and 40s even. And even newer than that, than what we'll be doing tonight. So go check them out, wishbookweb.com, if you want to look at some of these catalogs of I'll say. But before we get into the format and everything, I wanted to throw a little icebreaker question over to you, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
And that is just basically, what are your memories of these Christmas catalogs from your childhood?
You know, I vaguely remember them, but I kind of, looking at kind of the pages, going through them, I kind of do remember doing the dog earring, the circling, the, hey, I want this, I want that, kind of, leaving my mom, some hints as to what would be a good idea. And, at 5 years old, let's 5, 6, 7, 8, I was just as good at subtlety as I am now. So I may as well have just smashed her in the face with a brick and just said, buy me this, because I wasn't very good at it. And but honestly, I don't really remember them being as big of a deal in my house. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I certainly do remember them, being in our house still.
Gotcha. Yeah, we didn't have like a Sears in my hometown. We lived it was a smaller town, and we had to drive a little bit, about 20 minutes over to the bigger town to even get to like a Montgomery ward.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, like Toys R Us was a good 45 minutes, hour away. So getting these books in the mail, there was like I can remember there being like a place where you can order from, but not like an actual store. That even makes sense.
The outlets, I remember those.
Yeah, it was like I don't know. It was weird. I just have memories of like there's this huge counter and you'd walk up with your catalog and you tell them, all right, I want to order this, this, and this. And then you pay and then they ship it to you there. So it wasn't like going to an actual store.
I remember that.
But
had one of those
getting these in the mail, oh my gosh, dude. It was like the start of the Christmas season. I'm not sure exactly when they shipped them out, but I just remember that kind of started the whole Christmas feeling and oh yeah, I gotta sift through here and I don't want to miss anything in the front because you always flip right to the toy section, you know.
Oh,
but they were sneaky because they most of these books had I don't know, 30, 40 pages in the front that just highlighted several different things. And I always remember missing a few things throughout the book, just trying to go to the toy section, you know. But yeah, I was a big into dog ear the pages and circle stuff and all right, Mom, this is what I want here and here and here and here and here. And let me silence my phone. So yeah, it was a big deal to me growing up in the 80s, getting these catalogs. I just wanted to see where I tried to pick one actually that was in the later 80s that might be more significant to you versus some in the early 80s. Which we might get into this year. But
that would be fun.
So what we're going to do tonight, I kind of came up with a little category list. So we're going to go through, we're going to pick several items kind of by category. So we've got like one clothing item, shirt, jacket, jersey, slippers, whatever. We've got one jewelry item or a watch in that kind of category there. There's a section on like Christmas items that are, knickknacks and ornaments and trees. So we'll pick out one of those. We're going to pick out something for our bedroom, like a sleeping bag, a set of sheets or a play tent or something that we can put in our bedroom. And then there's like 6 or 8 pages that are nothing but VHS tapes.
Which works for me.
And we're going to pick a couple of those out. And then, of course, we've got to get a lot of toys in here. So we're going to pick out a couple items that are like action figures or play sets. We're going to pick out a board game or like a tabletop type game. We're going to pick out one of those electronic or handheld games. We're going to pick out a video game system or computer system and one extra video game. And then we got free reign of the book. We got 2 random items that we're just going to pull out that we flipped through and saw, and we're like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm going to have that. And then I noticed a few little things while I'm flipping through the book too that were just kind of at random that I'll throw out there as we get going here. But we'll go back and forth, and we'll just kind of sift through this book and kind of pick out what we would like to own. Yeah, this Christmas. So without further ado, I'm going to throw it over to you. Let's go ahead and pick out our clothing item first. Let's get the clothes out of the way. We save the toys for last.
So my choice was I had kind of been going back and forth on a lot of this stuff because, as a lot of people know, I'm a Chicago Bears fan, and we were just talking before we came on. And I had pointed out that I think that Sears is, headquartered in Chicago. And then I was like, oh, right, Sears Tower, it makes sense. And there's a lot of Bears stuff here, but I thought that would just kind of be too easy. I wanted something different. I wanted something that kind of represented that time. And make no mistake about it, in the 80s, I'd say the Bears were like the team of the 80s.
Yeah, they were, of course, definitely one of them, yes.
Yeah. I mean, them, Cowboys, Skins, 49ers, your Steelers,
no.
I think.
No, we were
No?
not the team of
Okay.
the 80s, trust me.
Okay, probably the 70s. But there's a lot of cool stuff here, especially if you're a Chicago Bears fan, including like some cool Snoopy Chicago Bears shirts and pants and stuff.
See,
and
I thought you were going to go for that right away.
that was originally on my list, but I'm gonna kind of blow your mind for a second.
Okay.
On page 231 are kind of young men's kind of young adult shirts, and these are tacky shirts. And one of them is, it looks like the most hokey skateboard shirt, and it says Wall Ride, and it's got a corny illustration on it. And I get the sense you're looking at it now.
I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it here. I'm going to try to pull up. Because I remember seeing some of these shirts.
It was just so silly. And I got to tell you, one of the reasons Sean Robert and I have a bond is because he's admitted on his podcast that he was the biggest skateboard poser in the world, and so was I. I loved the idea of skateboard culture. I loved skateboard music. I loved the style. I loved everything about skateboard. I just couldn't ride to save my life. Oh, I was terrible. But like in the late 80s, is skateboarding, BMX, dirt bike, all that crap.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty wild. And my brother was a part of all those cultures. The kind of what we referred to as extreme sports in the the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm having trouble finding this.
I'm trying to bring it up.
Yeah, and my Wi-Fi doesn't want to work on my phone right now. But it's just a corny little shirt. It looks dated as heck. But if it was like something, it looks like something you would find on Redbubble or T-Fury or something like that now. But it's just that's kind of it's corny enough for me to want to wear it in public. I don't know what my wife would say. All right, I finally found it. It's a blue sweatshirt. And it just says All Ride. And it's a picture of a guy on a skateboard. And he's just riding on the wall. And it's so tacky. There it is. Oh,
dude.
Tacky. Oh,
I love the graphic. It's got that like triangular shaped graphic that's faded out in the back, and he's riding a wall. Literally riding a wall.
It's
piece of concrete.
I can almost bet that I probably would have had something similar to that as a kid. If not the spin out one. I don't like the spin out one, but I feel like I would have worn something like that too. But yeah, that's
good choice. I like it. I like it. Okay. Let me see if I can get over to mine. Because I was looking, like you were saying, I'm a huge Steelers fan, so I'm looking to snag a jersey or something. Sure. I love those. They were like members only jackets, but the satin shiny jacket. I had a Lakers one back in the day, and I wanted to. Yeah. Well, we don't have we don't Pittsburgh, and I don't touch the Philadelphia team, so I wasn't a 76ers fan.
Neither does anyone else in that state.
But yeah, so I was a Lakers fan back in the day. Still am, sort of. But yeah, so I had the purple one with the the real kind of elastic cuffs. They were like purple and yellow and white, I think. And I was gonna go for one of those, but I decided against that, and I'm gonna go with a jacket, a leather jacket on page 194.
I know exactly which one you're thinking of too.
And it's the guy with the aviators on.
Yup.
I'm gonna pull it up right here.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly which one you're talking about. There he is.
There it is for $129.
Kind of looks like you. Wow.
What sold me was, okay, so I've never had a real nice leather jacket. And this one, like the collar, it snaps on. So you can take this like sheep, woolly material for the collar. You can take it off if you want to. So when it's in the fall and it's not too cold, you rip that off, and then you got the button over part of the front, so you don't see the zipper.
Yeah.
And you got big pockets.
He looks
in the
fresh,
front.
man.
I'm telling you, this jacket right here, I would look so good in that jacket.
I will go out and buy you that jacket on the terms that you wear it at RetroCon and you text me a photo of you and William Bruce West and Sean Robert all hanging out, and you have to pose like that. But
what I need to do is exactly like that. I need to get a designer to do the Murdoch tiger on the back of the.
Oh my gosh, that would be okay. Wait a minute. Does the A-Team come into play with this jacket as well?
Well, I mean, I was more of a Mr. T fan than Murdoch. Murdoch was like my second favorite character, but if that was definitely in play, then yeah, heck yeah.
Fair.
Grab me a blue baseball cap and some Converse shoes, and yeah, I'm good to go. So that was my choice for the clothing item.
Oh, great choice.
So let's go on to the jewelry and the watches. Because I went for the watches. There's just so many good watches in there, but if you really wanted to, you could have padded your wallet with some nice jewelry in here.
The mature adult responsible thing to do is to buy the most expensive thing and then just turn around and sell it. But I kind of went into this with two mindsets. I said, what would Chad of 1988 like? And then what would Chad of 2018 want that maybe he didn't get, or maybe he didn't, maybe he had but he lost it. So this answer is going to be kind of somewhat in the middle. And I went with this giant honking Pee Wee Herman watch that has his face.
Yes. I saw it, dude. It was in contention. Let me tell you, it was in contention until I found the one I picked. But I got to find it. You know what page it's on?
I do not. It's like right around the watches. I really wish I was a better guest and I was able to take better.
It's fine. I'll pull it up.
I was too distracted by the lady on page 156. I got to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Let me see if I can pull it up. But
and maybe 114. Anyway,
I have an Alan Thicke spotting.
I'm sorry.
I swear to God, Alan Thicke is in this catalog.
By the way, the page is 90 with the Pee Wee Herman watch. Where is Alan Thicke?
He's on. I'm gonna have to bring him up. My computer's not cooperating with the since we're running Flash for this catalog. Yeah, no, I'm flipping through the book. I'm like, oh my gosh, is that Alan Thicke? And the dude, I don't think it is, but holy cow, it's like his doppelganger.
It's the 80s. Every man looked like Alan Thicke. My dad had no hair, and he looked like Alan Thicke. Oh.
All right.
But yeah, this Pee Wee Herman watch is insane because it's just his giant head, and I'm assuming it's one of those watches that like you flip up, and it's like a digital watch, and then you just kind of put his head down, and it looks like there's like a little Pee Wee Herman band going on around it. But it's so corny, and I would have honestly, believe it or not, it was in contention with the Pepsi watch and
there's like
California
three of those Pepsi. Yeah, there's like 3 Pepsi watches together.
Oh,
and oh my gosh, they're awesome.
And I guarantee you, 100%, this is fact. Corey Chapman has each and every one of those on his arm at all times. Guaranteed.
Oh, and how much California Raisins was in this book? I mean, they were like everywhere.
Oh, it's just, And I get that this was it.
This was their peak, man. This was 88.
This was their. And I think like 89, it was either 88 or 89 that they had their cartoon too on CBS. I want to say it was 89, but this is still the time that they were doing the Hardee's promotions, and they were still doing kind of the claymation stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this is when they were just
was 87. So yeah, they were they were in full gear. Okay, what was the Pee Wee Herman page?
90.
Okay, I'm getting there. Wow, this thing is super slow. I should have said no to the Flash. Who runs Flash anymore? Come on, people. This is 2018.
People in 2003. By the way, I just got to say this shout out to my buddy Jason. Not just you, but my buddy Jason of Collecting Candy actually runs Wishbook, the Wishbook page, and he does all this amazing like archiving, and I just don't know how he does it. But you know, definitely he definitely deserves some props and respect for all the work that he's put in.
There it is.
Just scanning all of these wish books, my God.
I know. Holy cow! It takes some patience to scan 676 pages.
And you know, it's funny. He and I were talking the other day, and he was telling me how he has a bunch of stuff he's scanning now. I don't know how he does this.
There it is.
There it is.
He's got the bow tie on the band.
Oh, beautiful.
Look at that. Right next to the California Raisins.
Yes, and another Bears watch.
That is ridiculous, man. That head.
Is that another California Raisins watch?
It kind of looks like it. Looks like it's just smaller or something.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, so no, it's showing it. It's showing it opened up, so it slides open, and then there's the watch underneath, right there.
Right.
That's what it's showing.
I need you to answer me something. Go up, like pull the page down just a little.
Yes. Oh, those helmets. Yeah.
No. Oh, those look beautiful. I love those. Is it on this page?
Oh yeah.
No, it's not on this page. Do you know what couch potatoes was? Couch potatoes were, whatever they are. I think it's on the previous page. I don't know.
I had that Pac-Man watch.
Did you really? Did it work?
It did. It was awesome, and it was banned from school once they found out I had it. All right, I'm looking.
There it is.
There,
the
over here.
Do you know what that is?
I have no idea.
Because
it looks like a cartoon.
It looks like a cartoon, but that's
National
not the
Alliance of Couch Potatoes.
It's the what?
The National Alliance of Couch Potatoes. Let's read about it. Couch potato mechanical watch has a plastic case and band, stainless steel in the back and ports. We get nothing from that. Darn.
Absolutely nothing.
All right, well, I'm going to show you my watch.
I cannot
that
wait.
I picked, and I'm going to one up you definitely on this one.
Oh, are you really? Continue.
It's earlier in the jewelry. It is so ridiculous, and I can totally see myself wearing it, and people thinking like there's a gerbil on my arm or something.
Oh, no.
Page 40. Where are we at here? Page 48. Am I still screen sharing? I guess I am. Just missed it. There it is. Come on. The Alf watch.
Oh, yes.
Look at that thing. It's a
that's
plush.
Beautiful.
It's a plush Alf head. And the band itself is plush. Look at that thing.
Oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful.
Alf tells the time, no problem.
Oh.
Polyester plush with Velcro closure. $10, man. Sale of the century, right there.
And I guarantee you that goes for like 100 on eBay right now.
And look at the watch itself. It's got like a little cartoon image of him that says no problem. I can totally see myself circling that in the book.
Oh, it's just so fantastic. Oh, that's beautiful.
Let me get back to you so the people can see what you're holding up there, Chad.
I have this elf that I paid $5 for. No, I wait.
$5.
I think I paid $5 for this at the secondhand sale.
Holy
I always
crap.
have an elf near me at all times for some reason.
Hey, that sounds like a great idea to me.
Hey, not bad, dude. That is like that's kind of a hard choice to top. Gosh, I had forgotten about stuff like that.
I was looking at the PV Watch 2 and those video game watches, and I was like, oh, I got to pick one of these. And then I think I was scrolling to look at something else, and I saw that Alf head, and I was like, what in the world is that?
I would. Oh gosh,
that's it right there, man. Holy cow!
Oh, that's amazing.
All right, so let's try to keep moving along here. We're having fun.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a Christmas item that we need to pick, and there was about a dozen pages that they had a bunch of stuff on there. What did you choose as your Christmas type item?
There's a lot of good stuff here. It's a lot of like corny kind of stuff that you would like see in your mom's, basement, or maybe it was just my mom that had tacky Christmas stuff. I went with something. Oh, then it was all of us.
Yeah.
I went with something that I just couldn't stop looking at, and it is. I don't know what page this is. I really wish I would have taken.
That's all right. I'm getting there.
It's a Garfield elf plush.
What?
Oh my gosh! It's somewhere in the beginning, and he looks like he's like a cobbler,
beginning
or
of
like
the book?
he's just a working elf.
Oh my gosh! I totally missed that. It's at the beginning of the book.
It is. I am pulling it up now. This is just fascinating for anyone to listen to. By the way,
I gotta find it.
It's gifts. 47.
47.
Yep. And he's got a little. He's got an.
Oh, I see it. Correct.
How fantastic is that?
Holy cow. Let me pull it up here. There it is.
Oh,
good elf is hard to find. He's got the elf hat that his ears sticking through, and he's got the little like hammer or something. What? Oh, I totally missed that.
I don't think
$15 is a steal, man.
And it's 7.5 inches tall.
Yes.
I have to find this.
I want it.
I want this now. Out of everything that I wrote down, this is what I want the most.
Oh my gosh, that's a great choice, man.
Oh, it's so good, and it just pops out. I'm surprised you missed it.
I kind of skimmed through the beginning part of these Christmas catalogs. You kind of take for granted because you go, you go to the index or you go to the section of where most of your stuff is, and you miss it because it seems like it's random stuff or just maybe based on theme or something, and some of the other books I've seen. But man, I totally missed that.
That's a piece that, like, if you saw that in a thrift store, there's no question you would buy
Instant buy.
Yes, and it's on eBay, by the way. They all go for like under $15.
Oh man!
So maybe that's a piece for the Grosswald, the mantle in the Grosswald residence.
All right, so what I chose for my Christmas item, I remember my parents had these plastic nativity. It was a plastic nativity set. And the exact ones are in this book. We just had the primary, the Mary and Joseph and Jesus in the manger. We didn't have any of the other ones, but they had it was like those old, the bulbs you screw in and then you kind of plugged it into the back of the thing and it like glowed. I gotta find the page because there it is. It's got like every piece in the set, and I figured out if I was going to go buy the whole set, it would have been like $280.
Really?
Yes, there it is. So so we had the Mary and the Joseph and the Jesus in this plastic manger. Those are the ones that we had on our porch for years and years and years.
Oh,
and there was like sandbags at the bottom, so you could like they wouldn't move around. They were heavy as crap too when you're towed them up from the basement to put on the porch. But yeah, you had the shepherds. There's 2 lambs. There's donkeys, a camel, the 3 wise men, the whole shebang, man. It was like if you bought one, they took off some of the price of the item for the next item. So I totaled it all up, $280 to get that whole set. So I'm gonna do what my parents never did and get the whole set, and it's going right in my front yard.
Nice.
It kind of reminds me, I could go out there with like a green robe and pretend I'm a shepherd and, be like Kevin in Home Alone when he
I was just about
this
screams Home Alone to me. This just screams Home Alone to me.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, you know what? The movie was located in Chicago. Maybe they got these at Sears.
Could have been.
Could have.
Never know. Okay, moving right along. Let's get to the item for our bedroom. Sleeping bag, a play tent, pair of sheets. Come on. What did you get? So we might have chosen the same thing. I don't know.
I think we probably did, although it could have I don't know, maybe because there were a couple of things that I really wanted, but I picked a sleeping bag, and I think you already know where I'm going with it.
I did too.
I picked the Pee-wee sleeping bag.
I did too. Yes.
Yes, because
Chad.
Honestly, I've never seen that before. And as cool as like the G.I. Joe and the real Ghostbusters ones are, that one stands out. And it's so unique.
It's like somebody drew a picture and they made it into a sleeping bag. It's nothing like I've ever seen before. There was like, at least nothing I remember on any kind of posters or merchandise or whatever. And you see the actual backpack, the gym bag. It's on there too, or at least it looks like the him and the scooter are on there.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, look at it. It's glorious.
It's beautiful. And honestly, here's what's funny is I have never seen him in that costume. And it just, it's got the Playhouse on it too, which is just awesome. Does it have the characters? Or maybe it has like 1 or 2 characters because I see things like flying, so I'm assuming it has like Terry and all that.
I can't really zoom in on this. There's like something up in the air. That looks like a dinosaur.
Then it's Terry. Yeah.
Well, no, that looks like a huge dinosaur. It's half as big as the Playhouse. Anyway, it's funny. Like, okay, so the cover of this book is somebody's drawing, and that they won the contest to be on the cover. But they like tell it it's like buried in the catalog on a lower corner somewhere. Here are your contestant winners, So it's like they're not giving the kids props in this, man. That's an awesome sleeping bag, and somebody
that's amazing.
Like 7 years old had to draw it. Now I was looking at this Alf. I was looking at this Alf sleeping bag on the next page, but I don't know what it is. I get a little creeped out by like full body Alf,
Yeah, no, so
I kind of passed on that, and that Garfield one where he's like, it looks like he's ripping the bag and climbing down the wall, and that real Ghostbusters one, I thought maybe you could go for that one, but oh man,
was being considered, and I got to tell you, even as a kid, and even now when I watch Alf and they show like Alf like running, I guess his name was Michu, was that his name? The short gentleman that played.
That sounds right.
It was something like that, and I if I got the name wrong, I apologize. But it always freaked me out as a kid. It was like when they would show like the Muppets walking.
Right.
Oh my gosh!
Never seen their feet.
It scared me more than any horror movie ever did.
What I think is funny is this karate sleeping bag over here. It's like they couldn't get the rights to Karate Kid, But they
That's
totally like put Johnny on there, you know.
That's totally him, and he's not even in the right outfit. What is Lobo, by the way? What the hell is
it was like some I think RC franchise, like radio control cars.
Wait, so, this was 88.
This was 88.
So then they could have given us a My Pet Monster one. And what we get Raggedy Ann and Andy?
Yep, and the Pound Puppies.
We get Lobo, but we get no My Pet Monster? How dare you?
I almost went for the tent too. Let me click on over to that. Okay. The Garfield tent.
We need to talk about these tents immediately, even though none of us picked them. Where are they?
Right there. Well, there's the Garfield.
That Alf tent.
And the Alf one is great because you got the refrigerator on the side.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I'm trying to read what he says. I can't read that.
I'm hungry.
It's something, yeah.
Like that.
And look at this full body one. He's just in his like boxer shorts. Or no, it's the Alf symbol. I thought that was like boxer shorts.
Oh, I thought it was too. I was gonna say that he looks exactly like I do when I walk around on my
Alf
tail.
logo's like covering up his nether regions there.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's probably for the. Where's the DuckTales one?
Let me see. I'm getting there. Sesame Street, Snoopy. There's like Garfield. Let's click down here by G.I. Joe. The G.I. Joe stuff was like legit camping gear.
Yeah, like I honestly considered that.
Look at that sleeping bag.
Oh my gosh, look how comfortable it looks.
You got like the wool inside, and it looks like it came with its own like inflatable mattress inside or something.
Oh my gosh, I should have picked that. I mean, if we're going for a bargain in quality, my goodness.
And a random poodle over here. I don't know. I don't see the DuckTales.
Okay, there's a DuckTales one in here.
Wait,
is that it? It's like in the Disney items.
Oops, not too far.
Oh yeah, no, that's totally. There we go. I think it's around here.
See
this DuckTales one? I had that one.
You did? Okay, cool.
I totally had that DuckTales one. I did not have the sleeping bag or the little duffel bag. I had the playpen, and it was on my bed for like maybe 2 years before I got, a lot bigger. So, it was great. It was my own little hideaway. I loved that thing. Oh, it was beautiful.
That Roger Rabbit one looks pretty cool too.
I like that Roger Rabbit one too. I like that it doesn't have Eddie. It just has the weasels.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can stay on this topip forever, but let's keep moving along. We haven't got to our toys yet, man. Before we get to the toys, we got to do the VHS tapes. So let's flip on over to the VHS section here and give me a couple tapes that you saw that you'd be like, oh, I got to put that right in my collection right now.
Right. Well,
go for it.
There were a couple tapes that I was. There's no horror movie tapes here. If you notice, there's none. Some sci-fi tapes. A lot of like low budget tapes. There's a lot of stuff from this company called Congress Video and very low budget like public domain garbage. I didn't really see a lot that I would have wanted, and then I found two things. I feel like I know what you picked. The first one is Velveteen Rabbit because I love rabbits, and I actually have that tape somewhere in my VHS collection.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's cute. It's really nice. The other one. Well, I kind of debated doing the G.I. Joe FHE tape.
That was just like episodes, right? That wasn't like the movie or anything.
No, it was just like maybe 2 or 3 episodes, kind of strung together. And I mean, but you can get that anywhere. The one thing that really caught my eye was the Dolph Lundgren Maximum Potential tape.
Oh no!
See this?
I missed that one.
It's a workout
like an
video.
exercise. Yeah.
It's a workout video starring Dolph Lundgren and he apparently wrote it himself, which
He wrote it.
God bless him. I mean, first off, if I'm going to take workout advice, it's going to be from someone who looks like Dolph frickin' Lundgren. Even now, he's in better shape than I'll ever be. And I watched this. It's on YouTube, and it's literally just Dolph kind of standing on the beach. I think he's wearing lipstick in the beginning scene because he's on the beach. And then it's like an hour of him just working out and just like narrating his workout. And Where
is it? I'm looking for it.
It's in the workout video section, and it's kind of hidden.
There's like 3 of them.
Yeah,
3 workout sections.
I think it's right next to the women at large. The video for maybe the women who have a little harder time getting the weight off. I'll just say that. I don't want to use any derogatory terms. But you'll see it, and it's incredible how ridiculous this art, the VHS cover is for that Maximum Potential tape.
I'm trying to find it now.
I gotta tell you, this tape is so ridiculous. But my buddy T-Nuck over at UncleTnuck.com, he actually has the video store poster promoting this, and
No kidding.
I'm super envious of that. I have no right to be envious of that because it's just literally the VHS cover blown up. But it's just so ridiculous.
I can't find this thing. I'll keep looking as I
you'll
bring
see
up
it.
mine. So you like you got the Velveteen Rabbit and you got the Dolph Lundgren workout tape. I like it.
That tape is. There were so many tapes in the 80s, and you and I could probably do a podcast episode on like ridiculous like self-help tapes with celebrities. The Mr. T.
Oh, I think I see it.
Yeah. It's literally him in a tank top, and it's like the cover is like all steam, and
there it
he's
is.
in a spotlight. Oh,
Down on the right there.
it's so terrible. It's so terrible.
Maximum Potential.
I mean, but it makes sense. I mean, if you want to get in shape, who are you going to listen to?
This is like right after He-Man. So
this was after
He-Man. Ripped.
Yes.
He was ripped.
He still is ripped, though.
Video.
So, side note, did you end up seeing Creed?
No, I haven't yet. No.
I haven't either. But I keep hearing like it's like the perfect, kind of love letter to Rocky fans, which I'm not really a big Rocky fan. Like Rocky 4 was the one I liked the most, mainly because of Dolph, and I like the one with Mr. T and Hulk Hogan, whatever one that was. Was that 3? I think that was 3. There it is. Oh, good gosh. Where is it? Is that Raquel Welch?
Yes, it was. She had her own workout tape.
Oh, dude. I'd watch that.
Sorry, I thought I had the share screen up.
You do right now.
There it is.
There it is. Oh my gosh, look at that cover. It's ridiculous. They wanted how much for that? $30?
$30, man. $30.
Gosh.
It's probably worth that nowadays, at least. I think
it is. I've seen it on eBay. It's like, at least 15 to 20.
All right, I'm going to tell you my choices. I went for the cheese, basically.
Rise.
Some of these are just ridiculously awesome, I'll say. And yeah, all these like skateboards, and people had an obsession with like cars and monster trucks, nitro funny cars, and track freaks. I mean,
oh my god!
All these are they just look great. The one I went for, I gotta find it here. Sold me on the description. Here it is. Let me bring it down here. I went for the BMX freestyle tape because it's got the hot stereo soundtrack.
Oh,
yes. So we're getting a stereo soundtrack on this VHS tape for $10, and I hope it's a lot of like synthesized music.
Oh gosh. What is it called again? BMX.
It's called BMX Freestyle. They say new BMX in the description, but I don't know. maybe it's part of a series or something, but I was a total poser too. I mean, I had my Huffy, and the neighbor kid and his brother, they actually competed. They were like BMX people, and they had a quarter pipe in their backyard, right? So I would go over there with my little Huffy, and they're doing like tricks and all kind of insane stuff on this thing, and I was just so chicken. I could barely get up the thing and do like a half arc just to come back down. I wasn't trying any tricks or anything, but oh my gosh, they were like pros. And I was a total poser when it came to like, doing all the tricks and stuff on your bike.
Same.
I could just, I was good to like bunny hop a ditch somewhere and,
I couldn't even do that.
I could stand on the pegs, and just kind of coast around. But yeah, I was a total poser. So I picked that. I'll pick up some BMX tricks here in this tape, and then the other one that I picked, I had never heard of before. I thought you might actually go for it. I'm a sucker for like all of the like NFL films, tapes, the bloopers, the follies, all of that stuff.
Right.
And then I saw this strange but true football stories hosted by Vincent Price.
I didn't even notice that.
I went on YouTube. It's on, the full thing is on YouTube, and I started watching. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch this just to hear him talk, because he hosts the whole thing, and it's like it seems like it's like ghost stories or something about NFL players. Yeah. So I haven't watched it yet, but I'm definitely gonna have to do something on the website about it, because it's just, look at the cover. He's holding a VHS tape, and the tape is like ribbon behind him. Oh my gosh, it's glorious.
This was at a time. Oh gosh, I found it on YouTube. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is at a time when Vincent Price was kind of in a resurgence, and he was doing a lot more like commercials, and he was doing a lot more, kind of cameos in movies and stuff like that. So, but I have never, ever heard of this.
I hadn't either, man. I had not either.
Fantastic.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little feature or something on that.
Do it,
just to sit through it and pass it along to other people.
Gosh. By the way,
we have
the BMX tape is on YouTube right now.
Is it really? All right,
yes,
I'm gonna have to listen to that hot soundtrack, stereo soundtrack.
Oh, it's beautiful.
All right, so we've come to the toys. Finally. Let's go ahead and we'll just go for our action figures, man, and or play sets. So there was only a few. I was surprised. Like, there's only a few pages that had the action figures and stuff. I thought there would have been more. But
yeah, me too.
What did you end up choosing as your two items from there?
I feel like you're going to be able to guess one. The first is a G.I. Joe Good Guy set.
Oh.
And I believe it was only like $14.99, and you get 6 figures, and it's kind of hard to zoom in, and I'm looking at them. I think one of them, okay, I'm going to try and read it. I'm just going by the photos. One of them is the Good Guy Storm Shadow, which is one of my favorite Storm Shadow figures ever. Shockwave, one of my favorite figures, Blizzard. Oh, I love that figure. I think that's, I can't remember his name. He was a useless one. I think his name is like Bullhorn or something. Then you have Hardball, which I guess was like their attempt at giving us a big lob figure. And then on the end, I want to say that that's Muskrat, but I could very well be wrong.
Okay.
Just some good, for that year, I mean, just some good figures, but nothing. It's on page 445.
I'm trying to get there. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's okay. That's kind of why I'm like stalling for time.
Stupid.
But that's actually one of my favorite eras of G.I. Joe. I love that era because they went from kind of that strictly military to a goofy characters. The more outlandish, the better. And I really love that kind of stuff. You and I actually did a podcast about G.I. Joe the movie, and that is certainly a huge, product out of that era. It's just how crazy can we make these characters?
Yeah, yeah. Right after the movie came out, it just, I don't know, like I guess what they call season 2. Is that when season 2 started after the movie?
Mm-hmm.
And all the characters, even their designs, like changed, like Cobra Commander, Destro, and the main characters. And then they brought in all of these. Yeah, they just brought in all of these, almost like characters from Cobra Law or something.
Oh.
It just seemed like it was like a natural progression right out of the movie.
Yeah.
Into the characters and how just crazy and colorful they were.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And at that point, I was about tapped out of G.I. Joe. I most of my vehicles and figures and stuff had come before the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never really dove into all the. So yeah, like right after I usually watch season 1 and then the movie, and then I typically don't go past that. So I've missed a lot of those the characters and the figures and the the toys from that era beyond G.I. Joe the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years.
It got insane. It got much crazier as time went on. The movie is my all-time favorite G.I. Joe adventure, anything. And the characters that they started, like I said, they started giving the characters more, it just wasn't straight military anymore, which I know a lot of people didn't really particularly care for.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it, that's fine. But for me, because I was the right age for that, I was, 4 when the movie came out. So, I was able to appreciate it. I know a lot of people were just like, I mean, I don't really need to see, Star Wars and G.I. Joe mixed together or whatever, so.
Yeah, I can see that kind of comparison.
Yeah, it just got weird. And Transformers around that time, there was something right after the movie came out, these cartoons would just get weirder and weirder. Transformers got so bizarre after that movie. They were, the Red Plague, and oh my gosh, they were bringing back ghosts and all. It was just these shows are just, what is it about these shows? They go insane. But yeah, that I was with He-Man, He-Man was my number 1. G.I. Joe was, I'd say He-Man and G.I. Joe were tied together as my, those were the toy lines that defined, my childhood. Mm-hmm. So, those would be my choices, the G.I. Joes. And my second is going to be kind of one that the current day Chad, would really want, but the childhood Chad wouldn't really want. When I was a kid, my whole family was Redskins fans, and I didn't really appreciate football until I was getting older, and I became a Chicago Bears fan. And I don't know the page, but actually I think it's 448.
The starting lineups.
Yeah, the starting lineups. Now, I didn't really get into these as a kid because, like I said, see, they're even showing the Chicago Cubs. They have to be based in Chicago.
Sears, subliminal messages from Sears.
They are not biased whatsoever, are they? Shoot. But there's a little 4-pack of Chicago Bears playing. There's let's see who we got. We have Willie Gault, Jim McMahon, Mike Singletary. I can't remember.
Willie Anderson.
Willie Anderson?
I believe so.
I think that's him. And that's totally what I would end up going for.
Nice.
Just because I loved the McFarlane, sports stuff that came out a few years ago, but there's something just really cool about having, these.
Yeah, this was the beginning of starting lineups.
Yes.
I want to say 87, 88 was their
88 was their first year, actually. Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Yes.
Well, good. Yeah, a good show. I still have my Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Do you really?
My Dressler. I do.
Nice.
So yeah, I was big into the starting lineups. I didn't have a lot of them, but the ones I did have, I treasured, and obviously I've kept them over the years. But,
yeah.
I still see them in like thrift stores and stuff. They're practically giving them away.
You can't get rid of those to save your life.
Yeah. I mean, it was still before the time when you had like free agency and all the players changed teams like 3 or 4 times. But still, it's amazing that these aren't going for a lot more than what I've seen them at least.
Yeah.
So and good choice, man. Good choice.
The likenesses are not good. They're not good at all. Like even the Jim McMahon. I can't really see Jim, but is he wearing his headband in that one? Does he have his sunglasses?
He's got it on the card, but I don't know.
Oh, he's wearing the helmet. Okay.
You can't see. I think the helmets do come off.
Yes, they did.
I'm not mistaken. Really cool. But yeah, so I don't know if he's wearing the headband under there or not.
The one that says Frankie say relax or something ridiculous like that. I love Jim McMahon. He is great. Just that whole 85 Bears. Obviously, I love dearly. By the way, if you notice, Jim McMahon's doing a lot of modeling in this catalog, and he's wearing a lot of Chicago Bears stuff.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure he got paid very well. By the way, I just did a search for these, and sure enough, that Jim McMahon is wearing a headband.
There you go. Yeah, you can't not make one without the headband. I mean,
no, you really can't.
All right. Well, the ones that I picked, I actually I didn't go for any Joes.
Surprise! I know who you did go for.
Actually, I'll have to look at my notes again, but I didn't go for mask. Well, I did go for one mask toy.
Oh, okay.
I had to get the one that's been kind of eluding me, just because it's so much money. And I went for number 40 here, the Wolf Beast. This was the 63 Corvette that Miles Mayhem drove in the Split Second series. These are all Split Seconds vehicles, which any Mask fan will tell you we have no idea where they were going with the franchise with these vehicles. They were not in the show. They have these extra ones that are like they're clones that are clear figures that are just weird. One drove. I mean, it was like cloning yourself, so one could drive this one and one could drive that one. That's kind of where Mask ended on. We never got to find out what in the world was going on. The jet here, Skyball, is actually Matt Tracker's jet.
That looks like a cool jet, by the way.
I have that one. I have the Stiletto. I don't have Fire Force here, and I've got the bike in one of the figures for this thing. But yeah, I always wanted this. My dad's a huge Corvette buff, so I've got to get that someday. So I'm going to take care of it, and it's mine now for $17.
So is that the last piece you need in your Mask collection?
Just about. I need this little part for this bike. I don't have one, the Fire Force, which is a Pontiac Fiero. Mm-hmm. And I don't have that one, but I think I have pretty much every other vehicle in the whole series. Yeah. Oh my. And I'm going to sell it someday and make a lot of money.
Sure.
But until then, I'm going to go with one that I never had any from the toy line. That's straight above it here. Cops. Now, Cops, remember, they had the cap guns.
Yes,
like the actual, and like I think some did sparks or something too. But I went with this helicopter over here. Came with a figure, and you can put 2 figures in these bubbles over here on the helicopter. And it's got like 2 cap guns, I think. 2 cap guns are positionable. It's got a police light that turns on, and the canopies that open to put 2 figures in. I mean, come on, man. That looks awesome.
That line was just so good. Here's my issue that I had with that line. At that time, G.I. Joe's scale was my preferred scale until like maybe WWF Hasbro came along. And I was doing more like 5-inch figures. These figures were a little bit bigger than a G.I. Joe, so I wouldn't have been able to, in my ideal world, I would have been able to like fit a G.I. Joe into these vehicles. Because, oh my gosh, look at how creative these vehicles were. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, very underappreciated show.
And the cartoon was amazing.
Yeah. Wyatt actually got me the whole set for my birthday one year, and I've gone through it, and it's really good. I haven't gone back enough to watch them, but really fun cartoon.
Oh yeah. Oh, that show and that toy line just doesn't get the respect it deserves.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. All right, moving right along. We've got a board game or a tabletop game to pick. What would you go with here?
I went.
You went with Double Dare, didn't you?
No, I did not. I went with LA Law because I find it so ridiculous that got a board game. And I cannot for the life of me imagine anyone buying this, getting excited about it, and like having a party with their friends. It's so ridiculous. It doesn't.
LA Law, the
Why
board
would you
game.
make that? It's just so dumb. It's just so
$18 for 3 to 10 players, ages 12 and up.
Oh please! How many? Wait, 12 and up?
No, yes, 12 ages 12 years and up.
Watching that show
for 3 to 10 players.
What 12-year-olds were watching that show?
Yeah, no kidding.
And it's on eBay for like $9, by the way. Oh, good God. Oh, my gosh. It's by Galoob. Ew. Oh, that makes it even funnier.
That's crazy.
Oh, my gosh. I love that there's an LA video game.
Here is one I had no idea existed that I almost picked. Finders Keepers.
Oh, you didn't know that existed? Did you end up watching that show as a kid?
I loved the show as a kid. I had forgotten that they had like a home game for it.
I wanted that game so badly because my brother and I loved that show.
There was a lot of great board games. They got like a whole 2 pages just stacked of board games. Double Trouble? Come on, man. You never see Double Trouble.
Oh gosh, Double Trouble was
got 2 bubbles in there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It was like Trouble on steroids. And then I still own this. This is actually Wyatt's game that I have that I borrowed and never gave back. Hotels. That one's like Monopoly on steroids. That was a great.
So it was kind of like Life.
A little bit. It was like a mixture of Life and then Monopoly. You're building like these. All these hotels right here, and you get limousines to go around the board with. And then you like build phases of the hotel, and then you put in the pool. Oh, it's great.
That sounds cool. I tell you what, if I ever make it to RetroCon, you'll have to bring that. We can all get a group game going.
Now, this is what I chose for my tabletop game.
Is it what I'm thinking? Yes, it is.
I had a friend that had one. I think it actually had the bubble that went over the top of it.
Oh, sure.
It was really nice. Now these, I still don't know what the difference is between the two, other than the boards go. It looks like they go a little bit higher, and are a little bit it's a little bit larger than this one because there's like a $10 difference. But
yeah,
oh my gosh, I loved. Like I don't know if it was the local bowling alley or someplace had the one that was like next to the foosball table that was a stand up.
Yes.
And you had the scoreboard like above up here, and oh my gosh, it was glorious. I loved those. And these things in here were like $90. Where is it? It wasn't cheap. Yeah.
Wait. By the way, scroll back up for a second. Go back to the hockey.
Oh my gosh, I had that NBA basket. I had that. That totally missed me.
That looks familiar.
There's a little I think it was on one of these sides that you flip down and let go, and it would shoot the basketball up into there no matter where it was. I had that. Holy crap. What were you looking at?
Okay. Do you see that Chicago is once again kind of featured on the back of that with Boston and St. Louis?
Yep,
I'm just picking up so much.
Oh, it's on the other one too.
Yeah. Is it? There we go.
Chicago, Boston. Yep.
Man, Sears. Oh, dear gosh. Amazing.
New Orleans? Has there ever been a hockey team in New Orleans? No.
I don't think
Big
so.
work. But yeah, I went for the tabletop hockey, man.
That's a
back in the day.
great piece. Oh,
All right, what else we got?
did you ever see before we get off this? Just complete side note. Did you ever see like the Remco like superstar hockeys that they would do? They did one with Ninja Turtles. They did one with the WWF, and they would like take like little figurines. And they would turn like, the WWF wrestlers into hockey players. They would turn like the Ninja Turtles and Shredder and the Foot and all these characters into like hockey players. Oh, they were fantastic.
Oh, okay. Like, were they like officially licensed teams and stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So, but
cool.
Yeah, those are cool. But I love your choice because tabletop hockey is the best.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. That was like a step. That was like a major step above, what was it in the 70s? The like the vibrating football.
Oh yeah, like magnetic. Yeah.
Yes.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
that was
the
lame.
hockey,
that was totally lame.
Yes, the tabletop hockey was like the 80s version of that, except not stupid. It's a bunch of vibrating football players. How stoned were you guys in the 70s? Jeez.
All right, what was your electronic or handheld game?
I got to be honest, there wasn't really anything that really looked interesting to me, so I just picked football because I feel like out of everything, that probably could have been the one that would have gotten the most play.
Now, did you do the head-to-head talking football?
No, just like the regular one.
Okay, I got you. Here, I've got the page.
They all kind of looked lame to me.
The old LCD.
That's technology right there, ladies.
Oh, it was, man. This was your, this was before Game Boy hit. So This was your, deal in the car. I had this right here. This was like totally lame, but it worked for some reason. Because you could move that steering wheel back and forth in this race car game, and it lit up a little bit, I think, but it was weird. It scrolled like it was like a roll of film or something.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. That was lame.
So you went with the football. Now, see, on this page, I'm going to show you, because I was a connoisseur of these games. I had the head-to-head talking baseball, and what you could do is one player played on this side, they were the pitcher, and then one player was the batter on this side. So it was like two-player, or you could play against the computer. But I had the baseball, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go for that. And then I noticed this down here, the starting lineup talking baseball that looks like a freaking stadium. It's $100.
What?
Not only gives you the sounds and excitement of a real ballpark, but it has the statistics of actual superstars built right into the game.
Get out.
I had not remembered this at all, but I would have been all over that for $100.
Go down just a little bit again.
Mm-hmm.
So then you get an American League replacement cartridge. Then you get a National League. Wow!
Pop in a cartridge, and you get more stats. That's crazy.
That's like for that time. Wow.
That's weird. And what is this over here that came with it? Look at that. It looks like playing cards or something. Oh man.
Gosh.
Anyway.
Dude, that's badass. Well, I know you don't like me cursing on your show, but man.
Look at the stadium and how they got it set up with the lights here, and the dad's all into it too. Look at that.
Gosh, look at that hair. Holy cow, look at that helmet he's got on. That is not his real hair. I'm telling you, that is someone who's bald. That is not his real hair. You know how like women go around saying, oh, that's not her real chest. That guy is not. I'm telling you, this is not his real hair.
You know what cracked me up was this one that's like the carnival.
Oh my god.
See this? It's like teaching kids to gamble. They have like horse racing in the middle.
Do they? They do. Is that what that is? Oh my god!
If you read it, the Kitty Carnival
By the way,
includes dice, play money, colored chips, and horse markers. Oh my gosh!
How about the fact that is less is actually half the price as the starting lineups?
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
Gosh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I totally buy that.
All right, we got one more in the toys, and that's the video game system in one game. Which one did you choose?
So I think it's safe to say that. Let me just say this: my brother had the Sega Master System when it first came out, and I got to play it. It was fantastic. It was like just so rad. But for me, I'm always going to be a Nintendo guy, so I had to go with the NES. And the game that I chose, there weren't a lot of games that really had my attention. There we go. Oh my!
Look at this graphic right here. That's awesome.
Look at all that Nintendo. Oh, it's beautiful.
Why is Mario on the phone? What is up?
Because he's calling to order these items that he can pick up in the catalog. Or maybe he's maybe ordering a pizza, because I don't know if you know this, but he's Italian. Those Italians love pizza. I could say that because my wife's Italian and she loves pizza and Nintendo.
Yeah. $100 you get 2 controllers, the light zapper gun, and the Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt cartridge.
So were we including Mario and Duck Hunt?
I mean, that comes with the package, so you can choose one game beyond that.
Right. By the way,
a bunch. There's like 2 pages of games.
There's a lot of games, but only one of them. By the way, I got to point out, you couldn't see it, but my wife just cracked open the door, slowly slid in, and just kind of gave me a thumbs up and like laughed. She's in the hallway, and anytime Nintendo or Mario is talked about, she loves it. So, I got to tell you, my choice was, as fun as Karate Kid is, as fun as I was never really a big Metroid fan. I like Metal Gear. I liked Punch Out. Skate or Die.
Oh, nice choice.
Oh my gosh! Can I tell you? I have an NES Classic right now, right?
Uh-huh.
And
there it is.
Yep. Oh gosh, that's always, and it's actually hacked. I'm not going to tell you how I got it, but I did not hack it because I would just screw everything up. But that is always the first game. Whenever I turn it on, it just reminds me of, Saturday morning after cartoons. That's a game that I played all the time. And as terrible as I was, it didn't matter. It was just a fun game. And there are a lot of fun games. Like the pro wrestling was good. It was definitely better than that terrible WrestleMania game that we got. It's just an embarrassment of a game.
Skate or Die. I remember playing the Joust where you're in the pool.
Yes.
With my buddy up the street. He had an NES.
Mm-hmm.
And we would play that one, and then the half pipe.
Yes.
The twirling. There is an app out right now. I saw it on Google Play. I haven't downloaded it yet. There's an app that looks exactly like the half pipe in Skate or Die. And that's all you do is do flips and stuff through it.
What's the app called?
I can't remember. I'll have to look it up here. But it was like, I was like, oh my God, that's Skate or Die. Good choice though, man. That was a great game back in the day. I got a lot of mileage out of that for somebody who didn't own an NES at the time.
Right.
I think it's called Flip Skater.
Flip Skater, really?
That's it. Yep, Flip Skater. You have to go check that out.
I actually, our buddy of mine and fantastic guy, Ross, over at 8-Bit Zombie. We all know 8-Bit Zombie.
Yes.
He actually does a lot of Skate or Die inspired stuff. He actually did a patch of the logo, and I actually have it. Oh, dude, I love this game. And, so good. So good. So
I mean, his little mascot is a skater.
Thrashor, yes.
Yeah.
He is the mighty Thrashor. So it's called Skate Flip?
It's called Flip Skater.
I completely screwed that up. Flips.
You were close.
Flips. It does look. Oh my gosh.
See?
I'm totally blind.
I won't steer you wrong, man.
I know.
We're going to have to go check it out after we get off here and see what it's like.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be up until like 3 a.m. playing it.
All right. So my choice was the aforementioned Sega Master System, which I had. And I had the full set. I had the 3D glasses. And the one that I got came with Missile Defense 3D is what it came with. And like I've joked about several times, I don't know, maybe a few months after I had it, one of the 3D glasses went out. So I went to 1.5D for a while there. So I just gave it up. I never got a replacement set. But so I picked that, and I had a few of these games down here. There's Missile Defense. That came with it. And then I had Great Football and Great Basketball right there. I never had Alex Kidd. I know a lot of people rave about Alex Kidd.
I remember that.
But I didn't pick that one. I went with since I got the 3D set, I'm getting Zaxxon 3D, which was awesome. And I had that too. And it's basically, instead of, how Zaxxon was unique in that, had that angle. It went like from the bottom left of the screen to the top right. And, well, this one went straight on, but you still had to go up and down through the Zaxxon maze. And, oh, man, it was great. Oh, I just want to play it, like, right now.
Maybe there's an app where it's kind of similar.
It could be, but yeah, I was a big Master System person. And I guess I wanted to be different.
You know what? My brother had it, like I said. And my favorite game was Afterburner and Double Dragon, but Afterburner was my favorite arcade game as a kid, and I loved the music. So that would have been my choice because it's such a cool game. But this Zaxxon, I don't remember it. Was that how much?
$50 for Afterburner.
Oh, that's a bar.
Miracle Warrior was $60. I don't even remember that game. Wow, those were like double the price. It looks like what?
Looks like it would be it looks like you would be playing an episode of Captain Power, essentially.
True. Hey, look at this one right down here, the Space Harrier. What does that look like to you? Right there. That looks like
That looks like Quintessons.
Yes.
Transformers.
I saw that. I was like, is this a Transformers game? No. Space Harrier. I don't remember that one at all. Anyway. So that was I
don't remember that game.
That was my pick.
Shoot.
All right, we're almost done. We've got two more like random things to pick. And I'll just go with your first one. What did you pick out of the whole book?
Oh dear. Okay, so to kind of follow a certain trend of repeating another item that I wanted, there is a Voodoo 2 skateboard. Ooh. They have a bunch of I'm guessing they're like kind of cheapish skateboards. And out of all of them, this was the one that was the most just crazy looking. Like, I think that there's like an atomic bomb one.
You got the page?
I don't have the page.
Near the bikes. I'm getting there.
I think so, yeah. Web.
So you're gonna get rid of your poser status and you're gonna go for it.
You know what? I'm just gonna go all in the way. I'm just gonna go for it. And there was a lot of cool stuff to be owned and things that I envied as a kid, but you know what? If I can change the past, I would have been a skateboarder. I wouldn't have been a professional footballer. I wouldn't be an athlete. I just would have been a skateboarder. And I totally would have gone this route. It just.
All right.
If I can pull it up, I really should have.
I might have missed it because I'm in the.
Oh, page 495.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down in the electronics crap now. There we go. There we go. Yeah. One of my choices. It's not very far away.
Okay. But this is called the Voodoo 2. It kind of looks like a ripoff of Town and Country. Kind of a Steve Nazar design.
Look at that Speed Freak board. That's great.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I figure just go all in with it.
Where is it? Where is it?
It's up top. Right there. Right in the middle.
Oh, yes.
Oh, look at it.
Do too.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Oh, great. That one next to it looks like that little animation from Sesame Street. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It does.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Oh, great board. I love the design.
Yeah. Not bad.
What was the cost on this? $40.
Ooh, might have to do a little bargaining.
Good choice. One of my choices was let's see, a couple pages down here, $4.99. Like I said, I had the Huffy, so I'm gonna upgrade my Huffy that I had as a kid. And if my computer will cooperate here.
Did I call you Crew Jones with this choice?
There you go.
Ooh, right look there. At that.
It's the Freestyle Pro.
Look at that.
Splatter paint. Look at that paint job on it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Comes with the pegs and yes. You know, the mag wheels. Oh. I had a black, my Huffy was black, and the wheels were like a tannish color on the inside, but it was that same kind of mag design. Oh, I just love it, man. I want to do some tricks on that baby right now. It was $170.
Worth every penny. Every penny.
That was way out of my league as a kid, in my parents' league.
Oh gosh.
Look at that speed bike, man. Look at those
gosh.
Disc rims.
Tires.
Oh.
And then there's the fun stuff.
All right, what's your last item you're picking from this book and taking home with you?
I don't know what page this is on, but there was a lot of Oliver and Company stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this was the year it was released. 88 sounds right, either 88 or 89, I can't remember. But they had like a group of like the 4 kind of plush dolls, and I would have taken those. It's just like the 4 main characters from the movie, and it's nothing really special, but they I feel like they would look pretty cool on a shelf, next to a My Pet Monster or an Alf or something.
I got you.
Yeah.
Was it maybe at the beginning of the book?
It may have been, because I think that there was an Oliver and Company collection. So it was like clothes and like pajamas, and well, I guess those are clothes.
Trying to scan through real quick. See if I can find it. Put it up here. Oh, there's my last item. Where?
I really should have taken. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's after clothes or before. It's either after clothes, but before the toys.
Okay. Well, I'll let you kind of zip through there, and we can kind of circle back if we.
That's okay. 252.
252.
Mm-hmm.
Getting there.
Were you a fan of Oliver and Company, or you may have been a little old for that movie?
Yeah, I don't. Not in the least. No offense.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. There was a lot of Disney movies at that time where, I can totally see like someone just being like, "Ew, that's stupid."
Now I remember American Tail. I think that was like late '80s. I think the tape is actually in here.
It is. Mm-hmm.
I remember that being a big deal, and I had the 45 record of the Linda Ronstadt and who was it? James Ingram.
Yep.
Somewhere out there.
Yes.
Played the crap out of that.
Oh, that was I loved that movie as a kid. And honestly, it's a weird connection, but because I was adopted, I had a connection, and I knew I had a sister. I kind of had a connection to that scene.
Gotcha.
So it always kind of made me cry, and even so, yeah, that was such a solid. Then they made him turn him into a cowboy.
Yeah, what happened there?
Hell, terrible.
Spielberg, what's up, man? That wasn't even Disney, right? That was
no, it was Don Bluth.
That's right.
Yeah, and if he knows how to do anything, it's screw up a good idea.
Yikes!
And I love Don Bluth, but God bless him.
What did you say?
I said I love Don Bluth, but
no, what page?
Oh, for the Oliver and Company?
Yeah.
252. And at the bottom you can kind of see all the crazy looking, like the Cheech Marin Chihuahua, the Billy Joel dog. My introduction to Billy Joel, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a huge, even to this day, I'm a huge Billy Joel fan. And this kind of served as the opening, the gateway to it.
Oh, that would look great on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah. And of course, being Disney, I can't imagine those would be, cheap now.
Yeah, no kidding. Whoops, went too far. Let's see if I can back up here. $252, right there at the bottom.
Oh, those look cool.
They do.
They didn't make the poodle though. They didn't make the girl. That's kind of bizarre to me. But it's been forever since I've seen that movie, so maybe there's a reason. Who knows? maybe she tweeted something inappropriately. Who knows?
There you go. Finally got to him.
By the way, can you slide up to the kids?
Uh-huh.
The two kids in the background.
Those
are the two most phony-looking friends I've ever seen in my life. Those kids wouldn't be caught dead hanging out with each other.
Oh, that's crazy. And look at the one in the front, man. Looking all like Captain America there.
He knows the deal. This is all about him. Like he has scored the gig of a life. He's like the Zach Morris of this photo. Like he knows it's his moment, and he is going to make it shine. And these other two bozos are just gonna, hang out in the background and be in his shadow. I'm digging. I like this kid's confidence.
All right, I'm gonna get to my last pick here, and you won't be surprised.
Probably won't.
I actually still have a house phone. We go through Google Voice, so I would put it to work right this minute.
Yup.
The Garfield eye-opening phone.
Oh,
right there it is for $60.
Worth every cent. Look at it.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I remember seeing it. I want to say they advertise it on TV. There's a commercial somewhere. Mm-hmm. And just looking at that thing, I'm like, how cool would that be to sit in your bedroom? And now I'm like, yeah, I'm going to hook it up, man. I'm going to use it.
I feel like a lot of this was on like a lot of those sitcoms, or even in like teen movies, and like either the wild teen boy or like the babysitting girl had one.
Yep.
Like someone's older sister would have this,
Absolutely.
Oh, that's just such a great piece, though. Oh my gosh, great choice.
Well, was there any kind of like wow moments? I'm gonna go try to find Alan Thicke here. When you're looking through this, you're like, what?
The Jim McMahon stuff, like the fact that he's kind of modeling a lot of stuff, that was kind of bizarre to me. But then again, like, we started kind of piecing it together that this was from Chicago, so it makes a lot of sense. Is that David Naughton? No, that's not David Naughton.
Look, man. Is that not Alan Thicke?
That totally could be. If that's not Alan Thicke, then that is his twin. Like, that's incredible. Oh my gosh.
I'm like, wow, he might have needed some extra cash for Christmas or something.
Hey, well, I mean, how many members are in the Seaver family? I mean, he's got to pay for, someone's boombox eventually.
This one just cracked me up, and I almost picked it just for the sake that it exists.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get up here to page 31. There is a barbecue apron that has the utensils, like it has hangers on the apron to hang your utensils off of. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And you would own that right now if you had the chance.
I would. If I saw it hanging in a thrift store, I'm like, I'm going to grab this. I'm going to wear it the next time I grill out some hot dogs. It is the most ridiculous thing. Take a look at this thing.
Oh my god.
There it is. And it's got like the name of where you put the stuff.
In case you're just too stupid enough to know, to put it on the...
And a pocket for salt and pepper at the top, baby. Look at that.
That is
glorious.
You know what? I didn't want to tell you this, but Aaron and I have been kind of secretly searching for this for you for like ages. And we finally found it.
$15.
Oh gosh.
Easy clean vinyl. That's 4 hooks to keep your utensils right in front of you.
Then it's like a smock. It's vinyl. It's a smock.
Look at it, man. It's glorious.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, hey, we had one of these. Get rid of your little fuzzies on your sweater. Look at that.
Oh yeah, those are a really good invention. That's a good idea. I probably would have voted for that. Is that a jelly bean counter?
It looks like some kind of jelly bean. What in the world is that?
Did Ronald Reagan have that on his he loved his jelly beans.
Executive snack dispenser. Oh. Jelly beans, gumballs, or M&Ms. Then reward yourself often with a treat. Push the button, and the middle spindle offers you one special piece at a time.
Hey, I kind of like that. I think I would have chosen that as one of my random ones.
All right, one more thing, and then we're going to get out of here. I found something. I believe my dad still owns it, but it just hit me like, oh my gosh, he must have bought it from this catalog. Let me see if I can get my. There, we went down to the bottom. 641. There is this radio that is a old, like, 1930s car. And there's the spare tires are like on the running boards. What did I say it was?
641? Was it 641?
There it is. It's an AM/FM radio out of this old car, and the way you changed the volume and changed the station was the little spare tire on the side of on each side of the car on the running boards, and there was a little antenna. I think it came out the back somewhere, but I swear my dad still has this on a mantle somewhere in his house. 1931 classic car with AM radio. It was just an AM.
An AM, of course.
And right above it is the cheeseburger AM radio. Look at that.
The cheeseburger radio. By the way, I wanted to point out how creepy that clown is.
Oh, that is very, yeah.
No.
See, now, there's a lot of cool stereos and like
kind of stuff.
Electronics and stuff. I would go for one of these stereos in there. I would actually thought about it. But I don't know. I like the more novelty stuff.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
A cheeseburger radio.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. That jukebox now, I guarantee you, someone has found one of those, and they have like modded it into a like iPod speaker.
Look at that Junior Studio karaoke machine.
I bet Adam F. Goldberg has one of those.
It's going to be on the next episode. Yeah.
Yes. This whole book is going to be in the next episode.
All right, we got to wrap this up, man, because we're We're pushing, I don't know, hour and a half maybe on this.
Yeah,
Or
no,
even
that's
more.
fine. That's fine.
But man, this was fun. I love just diving into these page by page, and this was even more fun going through this. I even thought about, somehow doing like a draft or something in one of these books where we can't pick the same item, and we go around and we get a little list of, a Christmas list, and people vote for, who picked the best stuff. But
yeah, it would have been cool. I like that.
We might have to do that someday.
We'll do that for 89. I'm with all the Batman stuff and all that, and I'm sure there's a lot that we would be trying to get first.
Absolutely. Well, this was fun, man. Thanks for joining me. This was great.
Hey, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. It's always a pleasure to come and podcast with you, man.
Yeah. It's been too long since I got an episode up, and I was telling you kind of off air that me and Wyatt have both been kind of busy. There's some other life stuff going on, so we haven't been able to get many episodes out. So I appreciate you taking the time. And wishbookweb.com, that's where I found this book. There's some other ones out there too. There was a whole Flickr account that I used to go to that has been taken down now. So anyway, they are out there if you want to get through some of these books. And I know a lot of my buddies are posting all kinds of stuff from these Wish books, and even some from across the pond, the Argos catalog.
Argos, wow.
My buddy Retro Mash over there, he does those each year, like as a advent calendar, and reveals a new one each day. So
he's a good follower too.
Fun, yes, yeah, fun stuff. So go out and check that out. Go over to horrormoviebarbecue.com and at Horror Movie BBQ on Twitter. See, hook up with Chad there. And man, this was fun, man. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Festivus.
You
Happy
can
holidays.
Say Merry Christmas to me. I'm not.
Okay. Well, Merry Christmas to you, Chad. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks so much, buddy. And to everyone else out there listening, no matter what you celebrate, thank you for listening, and happy holidays to you as well. Okay.
Well, tune in. I think we're going to try to do one more of these catalog shows, and try to get my buddy Wyatt on here. We're going to do one more maybe before the year is out, and then we're going to get back into all that 1989 stuff before too long, buddy. It's not far away. I can't wait to do the movie one and dip into music and TV and all that stuff that we've done this year. So thanks everybody for listening, subscribing, all that good stuff. Check us out on YouTube if you want to watch us, through the whole shebang here. I like to edit it out because this is a work in progress as we record. But anyway, thanks everybody for coming along, and have a Merry Christmas.